One of the worst things you could do is claim that you want somebody to be real, but you're not real yourself. Because just like it's dangerous to mix medication, it's also dangerous to mix signals. And so we want to do this webisode and we want to talk about be real with me.
Be real.
Be real with me. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me.
Go and free yourself.
There are a lot of especially Christian women who are leading some brothers on. You know this dude don't have no chance. He's not what you prayed for. He's definitely not Boaz.
Yeah.
Why are you going out to Chili's with him and you know that you don't want to be with him?
Exactly. I know there's some women guilty out there. I mean, I was guilty myself.
What?
Of leading. I know before I met my husband.
Trifling.
I mean,
good
leading
for nothing.
Leading someone on with no intention of being with this person. I mean, you texting them, you talking on the phone, y'all hanging out like y'all buddy, and you're just like, oh, we're just friends. And you could tell that this person is growing feelings for you, right? But you have no intention of being with them at all.
This boy about to get on the knee.
I mean,
he asking his
real.
spiritual covering for permission.
I mean, and you're just like, no, I just don't see us that way. I mean, we're just friends. I mean, can we just be real? You just like the idea of somebody being there to be around you, to take you out, to talk on the phone, to give you that male interaction.
And let me just go ahead and interrupt and say this.
The truth.
It is not their fault that you have an insecurity issue.
That's right.
It's not their fault that
Just be real and honest.
I need somebody with me to feel as though I'm pretty or I have significance. That's not their fault.
Yeah.
Truthfully,
Or because I'm bored.
the Christ-like thing to do is to always extend clarity up front.
That's it.
Don't be going out to Cheesecake Factory and saying you so sweet and touching his shoulder. You don't need to be doing none of that, okay? If you hungry and you want some food but you can't afford it, eat some ramen noodles tonight. You don't need to use him so that you could just have Chili's egg rolls.
That's so true.
You have to be honest with yourself and honest with him because number one, you reap what you sow.
Right.
And it'll be dangerous for later on down the line. There'll be a real brother that you really interested in and he leads you on too.
And it gives that person a false sense of hope. Like, ooh, say this guy is pursuing you, right? And, he's taking you out and y'all hanging out and y'all talking on the phone and spending all this time together. And he's like, you know what, she's saying it now, but I'm gonna wear her down. If we keep spending time together, she gonna be mine.
Bruh.
And you already know, like, I'm not interested. You tell your friends. You tell your homegirls. Like, I mean, I know he likes me, but, I don't really like him like that. And, but he's just so cool. We just have so much fun together.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
And I want to say this too, real quick plug for the married people watching as well. It's not cool for you to act as though your marriage is all gravy, but your marriage is on life support. Be real. And I think one of the detrimental things that the church has created is we have created a climate where people are okay with looking like, but they're not striving to be like. So what we have done consequently is created an atmosphere where people have facelifts, but they don't have heart transplants. Because I don't want people to know my issue, so we rather drown in silence. There's a realness that needs to happen many times as well in the marriage state. We need help. We're not having sex because a sexless marriage is a powerless marriage. I did go there. We're not communicating. Yes, we may have been married for 20 plus years, but we're still having year one issues. And so these type of things, be real with yourself.
Yeah, be honest.
And for brothers, there's a difference in pursuing and stalking. Okay?
Yeah.
When you're pursuing her, she should give you glimpses that you have a chance. If she's giving you all these type of stops, these red lights that you have absolutely no chance, but you're still posting on her wall in her DMs or looking up, where she checked in on Facebook, that's not romantic. That's scary. That's not Boaz. That's Michael Myers. You're not called to stalk. You're called to lead. Pursue her like Christ loved the church, not like how Michael Myers tried to kill that girl on Halloween night. When we're doing it God's way, we don't need a backup plan.
Come on.
We don't need a just in case.
That's so good. Because listen, men and women that have done it, okay, they keep that person just close enough. You string them along because there are just in case this situation don't work out, or this relationship don't work out, or I break up with this dude, or I break up with this girl. So like, well, if this don't work out, let me call you back and say, hey, you know what you doing tonight? You want to get something to eat? Let's go get some ice cream. No, that's not cool.
I think one of the most hurtful things a man can ever do to a woman is to do everything to sweep her off her feet, but you know deep down inside you have no intentions of catching her. That's not the Christ-like, that's not the godly man attributes. That's the attribute of the enemy and a counterfeit. Because godly men will be the head, not play with your head.
That's it.
Godly men will lead you to the king, not lead you on, right?
So
There's
good.
a total difference. And so this is wisdom for sisters. What the godly man provides is clarity. Anytime you're in a relational context and there's confusion, he's probably friends with Geppetto, playing the puppeteer, because he's really just trying to see how much of reaction he can get out of you. But when there's clarity, he is crystal clear about his intentions. I want to get your behind to the altar, and I want to marry you.
In Proverbs 6, the Lord states there's 6 things that God hates, and one of them is a false witness. And when you are leading someone on, you're not being honest with them, and in essence, you're lying. And you have to remember, that's God's child too. God loves that person. God's concerned about their well-being. And you're hurting one of God's children. So in essence, you're hurting him. That's being deceptive.
That's good.
That's wrong.
And we know one of the traits of the enemy is deception. Let me tell you something.
You might not even thought about that deeply.
Let me tell you something, and then we're going to wrap this up. One of the most dangerous things we could do, especially as believers, is to have a degree in mixture. I want some of culture's ways, I want some of God's ways. I want some of my will, and I want some of God's will. I want some of Boaz, and then I want some of Day. I want some of Jezebel, and then I want some of Ruth. One of the worst things you could do is have a degree in mixture, because what will happen is you will end up producing your own chaos, your own downfall, and ultimately your own storm. Because if there's anybody that knows anything about the weather, what does hot air and cold air produce? Storms. When a hot air mass and a cold air mass mix together, it produces a storm. Why am I having all this thunder? Why am I having all this lightning? Could it be because you have a degree in mixture, and so now you keep sending mixed signals, and you don't even know you have a false witness. You don't even know that you're hurting people. It's because you're so conditioned to mixing that you don't even know when you're sending mixed signals.
But you know, I told him I don't like him. He just keeps wanting to take me out.
But you calling him though. Why are you texting him though?
You're entertaining it.
Why?
He keeps spinning. I mean, I told him I'm not interested in you like that.
But you calling him though.
Okay, that's still giving him a false sense of hope.
What you doing?
He's still like,
Why you worried about what you doing? So really what I think will liberate us from this detrimental and heartbreaking attribute is really getting to a place where we trust God. We trust God that he will provide somebody. And a person does not cure loneliness. So dragging somebody along due to the fact that you feel lonely is never an option. But truly trust God. And I'm not going to send mixed signals. I'm going to be clear. I'm going to have clarity. And I'm never going to have a backup plan. And one of the things I saw in the life of Jacob, there was one night when Jacob was wrestling with the Lord all night long. He was wrestling with the Lord all night long. And then at daybreak, the Lord said, let me go. And then Jacob said, I will not let you go until you bless me. So Jacob went from wrestling to holding, because you could only get your blessing when you shift from wrestling with God to holding on to God. And so I think if we were to get to a place to where I'm not going to wrestle with these insecurities, I'm not going to wrestle with the fear of being alone, I'm going to hold on to God, because when we hold on to him, we position ourselves to get blessed.
That's good.
Be real with me. Redefined TV.
Where we're redefining relationships righteously.